Hello and welcome to MoneyMagpie Invest. I'm Jasmine Birtles, and today I'm joined by Andrew Foster from Bullion Club, which sells gold coins primarily. Andrew, hello.
Hi there, Jasmine. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, thanks for coming along because you and I have just been talking about your customers and why they're coming to you, why more and more people are looking to buy gold, and in particular, but to buy gold coins. And I'm guessing that since the budget, you've seen an increase in interest, have you?
Absolutely. Um, you can imagine, obviously, there was before the budget, there was a lot of scaremongering about what capital gains might end up being, or the rate that it might go up to. So we had a lot of individuals who were looking to protect their money, get it away from the system, so to speak. So gold is a good way of doing that. The coins that we particularly work with are from the raw mint, so they're exempt from capital gains tax.
And also, of course, VAT, when you buy it for the coins, you don't pay VAT because they're supposedly legal tender, although, who would go into a shop and buy an ice cream with a gold sovereign?
But we've also got issues around inheritance tax. Now, a lot of people are preferring to place some of their estate into gold coins because I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but there's no public register for gold. Unlike property, when you buy a property in the UK, it gets registered at Land Registry and HMRC can view that. Well, because there is no public register for gold, it makes it a little bit more invisible, so to speak.
So, what do you think about the future for gold? Obviously, you're in a gold company. It's going to be positive, but really and truly, right at this moment, as we're speaking, gold is down, Bitcoin's going gangbusters. But what do you think in terms of the short, medium, long term for gold, particularly? Do you see it basically just continuing to go up?
I think so. I think so. I would say, is gold down at the moment? Well, if you look at where it was in January this year, it's certainly not down. An ounce of gold, which is how the spot price is worked out, back in January would have been around £1,500. Today, that's just over £2,000. So you will see day to day, week to week fluctuations within the spot price. That's just normal trading behavior. But the overall trend is up. And I do think the next 18 months, 2 years, we're going to see gold continue to rise. And it's not just us saying this, it's also, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, big financial institutions have been looking at the market and making predictions on it. And they seem to think that we could be over £2,500 an ounce by late spring next year.
And do you see that particularly because of global volatility? Because I noticed that a lot of central banks, I mean, certainly China, Russia, Middle East, there's a whole load of banks there, and obviously governments that are hoarding the gold. They are buying gold, and they
Yeah.
are keeping it.
Central banks globally over the last 2 years, their physical holding of gold has increased by 130%. De-dollarization is a real thing. We've seen the value of the dollar drop away in recent years. And the reality of that is that we have seen numerous countries repatriating their gold from the States. And what we've seen in the last couple of years is countries like the Netherlands, Belgium, Austria, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, the list literally goes on, have been bringing their gold home. Now, in turn, that is also going to weaken the dollar. Whereas the dollar will be dropping away, that's going to work in gold's benefit. So it could be an indication that maybe there's going to be a global downturn again that we've seen in recent years.
It's an interesting point about the de-dollarization and the dollar kind of looking very shaky because in a sense, you could say that it's not so much that gold is going up, but that fiat currencies like the dollar and the pound are going down. So relative to the fiat currency's value, gold is just sailing upwards.
Back in 1972, an ounce of gold would have cost you £27. Back in 72, £27 would have bought you a good pair of shoes and a good suit. Well, £27 in cash today probably wouldn't buy you a plastic pair of shoes, but an ounce of gold will still buy you a good pair of shoes and a good suit and probably a night in a hotel now. So you can see over time, in relation to inflation, gold holds its value. And that's important to investors as well, because it's not just about making money, it's about protecting what they already have and making sure they maintain their capital.
Here in Britain, you look back to, was it 2000 when Brown sold our gold? It makes you want to
Yes.
scream.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, are you aware of our government trying to buy some back? I'm not, I haven't heard anything about our
No, if
reserves.
no, I mean if that is happening, it's happening under the radar. We do have a gold reserve for sure. And I would imagine if we were in a stronger financial position, we would probably be bolstering that.
Yeah, because I feel that's a shame because I get the feeling that, as you say, with the de-dollarization of the world, there's going to be one or more new currencies. Something's going to replace it, and
Mm.
it feels to me highly likely that that currency is going to have a gold element to it, some sort of gold backing.
Yeah.
It may not, but a lot of the currencies that are being mooted, particularly with the BRICS countries, what they're talking about, African countries, etc., gold is part of that.
Jasmine, I was at a seminar that the Royal Mint put on a couple of months ago at the Tower of London, which is the original home of the Royal Mint. And there was a keynote speaker there, a guy called John Reed. He's the senior marketing strategist for the World Gold Council. Now, he was talking about this point, and he said that, yes, over the last couple of years, the increased physical holding in gold has increased by central banks. His opinion was that in the coming years, he didn't put a time frame against it, but he thinks either India or China will probably take over as the dominant currency. But he did say that neither of them right now are in a strong enough position to do that. And what that kind of leaves is a void that with the dollar falling away, there is a chance that people could start turning to gold. Not necessarily a full return to the gold standard, but certainly it will become a significant interest in global affairs. And I think that will only help the value of gold going forward.
So basically, get yourself some gold just as a hedge, if nothing else. Thank you very much indeed, Andrew. Andrew Foster from Bullion Club, which sells gold sovereigns primarily. Great to hear from you and good to hear about the gold price. Well, this is the Money Magpie Invest podcast. Do like and share and come along and have a look at Money Magpie Invest at moneymagpie.com. I'm Jasmine Birtles. This has been my podcast. Great to speak to you.